I was photographing at 57th Street between 5th and 6th Avenue. A policeman came up to me and said, "You're a photographer?" And I'm standing like an 8x10. I said, "Yep." And he said, "I'm a photographer too." He said, "I use a 4x5. So we started talking, and we were talking for a while, and he asked my name, and I told him, he said, "I have one of your books, and I show it to my family, and they think your pictures are boring, and I tell them they don't understand." And so that sums up the reaction to my work for years, is some people think it's boring, and other people say, "Oh, you don't understand." The summer before my 9th birthday, I got a 35 millimeter camera. Very early on, I felt like I was a photographer. I mean, my path was very clear to me.
Is this your picture?
Yes. I'd be 12 or 13.
This is such a good picture.
I know. I know it's a very good picture. I look at the picture a lot because it is a very good picture. The point of the picture is, in a way, is the self-awareness as a photographer. What I did instead of going to college was go to the factory. And Andy would often give me advice, like parental advice about, "Oh, you shouldn't say that kind of thing." If I made some crack in a social situation that he thought was inappropriate, he would tell me. The factory was a real turning point for me because I started thinking aesthetically in a way I hadn't before. What happens if you go through life paying heightened attention as you go through your day? I felt more awake when I didn't turn my mind off when I was in a taxi or having dinner, but was actually paying attention to what I was doing at all kinds of moments during the day. I was interested in snapshots. I was interested in their immediacy, that while snapshots can have their own conventions, often one comes across snapshots that feel like kind of raw experience without any pretense of art. American Surfaces the reaction was fairly negative and got a terrible review in the Village Voice, a scathing review. I mean, I've tried meditating, and I find that if I cut myself off, follow my thoughts, all fine, and then the phone rings, and it's my mother, it's all lost. So what happens if I try to maintain that kind of awareness in the midst of life? There's so much to be experienced just in average moments. Today people look at the pictures, I read some people writing about they like it because they're nostalgic. Well, what my motel room looked like in 1974 looks nostalgic today, but in 1974 it didn't look nostalgic at all. And some people would kind of wonder, this just looks like what things look like. And I'd say, yes, that's the idea. There are things that are on my mind now that were not on my mind 30 years ago, and things that I was paying attention to then that I've resolved for myself. Now understand that this is just the way things work, and that you have different things on your mind, and it can't stay on your mind the whole time, or else you're not moving forward. I find I have an affection for what I did in the past, even though those aren't my concerns now.